And a very good afternoon to you and welcome along to a sun-drenched Advanced Money Park Shaw McGibbert. We're here for the Leitrim Intermediate Football semi-finals that are taking place this weekend. Tomorrow we've got Bandagleera and Kilturbert, but today all attention is on the meeting of Anaduff and St. Patrick's Dromahair. It promises to be a cracking game. Two teams that were involved in the semi-finals last year. Indeed, Anaduff went all the way to the final. Let's start by giving you a check on the two teams that are lining out in this particular encounter. There's one late change that we can tell you about on the Dromahair team. James Glancy does not start for them. Their number 15. Into the team comes Declan Fowley wearing number 17. What we're expecting to happen is Killian McLaughlin to move from right half back to left half forward. Michael Clancy, the team captain, is expected to move in on top of the left. Martin Feeney will be their main threat up front. He wears number 14. James Morrison starts at centre half forward. There's an experienced midfield pairing of Adrian and Shane Fowley, while Jamie Conlon and Rory Kelly occupy central positions in defence. The experienced goalkeeper John McGoldrick starts in goals. Well, for Anaduff, two late changes. It's as you are when it comes to the team that beat Drumkeeran in the quarter-finals of the championship. What that means is of two changes in personnel from that starting 15. The big news is that Dermot Reynolds does not start at number 9. Liam Taylor starts again in midfield wearing number 26. He had some game the last day before being forced out of the match due to injury, while Ray Cox will be used as an impact sub again. He wears number 14. He'll start on the bench. Number 21, Frank Shanley, has been handed a starting position for this particular game. It's an Anaduff team that only contested the final as recently as the 24th of July here in Carrick-on-Shannon. Last year's intermediate final being contested then when they lost to Gortletcher. Dylan Kane is back for them once again at full-back. Plenty of experience right through the spine of the team. Sean McNabolia at 11, and indeed Kenny Cox is another scoring threat at number 12. Benny Guckin is our co-commentator here. The big news, Benny, I suppose from the Anaduff perspective, they're going to try and have that impact off the bench again. It's as you are for Anaduff in the game when they play Drumkeeran.
Yeah, look, at the last day it was very effective bringing Ray Cox in at half-time, John, and you would imagine they're going to do the same again. But just looking out on the pitch is in great nick, great conditions, and really looking forward to a really exciting game. Yeah,
we've got the two intermediate semi-finals here. We had the senior semi-finals last weekend, and indeed a minor final was played here earlier today where Glencarmanor got the better of St. Mary's. The pitch has really stood up to as well. It's in magnificent condition out there. Enda Egan is the match referee who's taken charge of this particular encounter between two teams that many experts are predicting could have a real say on who is going to be the champions when it comes for 2021. It's a dangerous, a dangerous assumption to make, but the ball has been thrown in. Kilturbert and Bandagleera could have a major say on that as well. It's Anaduff straight away in possession. Hugh Moynihan wearing number 6 for them, kicks the ball down there towards Kenny Cox, loses out in possession, however, and is back with Dromahair. Jamie Conlon is the man who is wearing number 6. Across it comes here towards Killian McLaughlin wearing number 5, but we're expecting him to move into the forward line as the game goes on, and a good early mark taken there by Martin Feeney, who is such a key player for them. He had a wonderful game against Bandagleera a little bit earlier on in the competition in the group stages, was their scorer in chief on that particular day, and he's off to a flyer here. That sub kick in there from the full forward of Dromahair, and Martin Feeney has got the opening score of the game, Benny.
Yeah, and he's right, as you rightly said, he's having a great year so far, John, and that was no easy kick, and it'll settle Dromahair down straight away.
Well, you can see it from the replay. He judged that absolutely perfect, and he sent it between the posts for the opening score of the game. Dara Burke is the man who was going to take the kick out, but really we could have some battle here between the two number 14s today, but no doubt about it, the number 14 for Dromahair has got off to a flying start there. Meanwhile, back with the action live once again. Anaduff coming on the attack, but again it breaks down. Martin Clancy was there to cut that one out. It comes back to Kyle Hart, the man wearing number 2 over on the far side of the field, looking to run from deep here is Martin Clancy again. Once more, Anaduff recycling the ball to Bertie Cunningham. It comes down to here. He's got number 10 on the back of the jersey. Plays it over towards that old stand side of the field. Now into James Morrison in a much more central role for Dromahair. They've got about 41 players on the panel. Huge panel for them here. Killian McLaughlin bringing the ball forward now. Down towards the direction of Martin Feeney again. The full forward taking on the cover onto the 21-metre line. He's been fouled as close to the sideline, and it's going to be a free in. But no doubt about it, Martin Feeney, the 23-year-old, has started very well. A Leitrim hurler as well, and indeed an important man to the team. A great ball winner inside, and as we've seen already in this game, a hugely accurate free taker. One from him so far. This time the angle is a little bit more acute. However, it might just suit a right-footed kicker. Let's see if he can tap this one in. No, it never really got proper contact on that one. Came off the boot completely wrong, and it's an opportunity now for Anaduff to break down that attack and come here on the counter themselves. An Anaduff team beaten in the final as recently as July, and they've got the ball forward here with Kenny Cox. Good insightful run, gets the ball back in there towards Aaron Dignan. Out it comes now to Sean Dignan. Has to recycle it and plays it here to Conor Reynolds. They're moving the ball well, Anaduff, on this particular occasion as they look for an equalising score. Ball kicked in there from distance, dropping in and indeed off the upright and gone wide. An opportunity for Anaduff, first wide of the game for them. Well, they worked the ball well into that position. It's interesting to see, Benny, there's an early contrast in the approach play. Obviously, Drogheda, we know, would be looking for Martin Feeney quite a lot in this game as an out-and-out target man. Maybe with Ray Cox not there for Anaduff, it's much more kind of a laboured build-up.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting tussle between Martin Feeney and Dylan Kane. Dylan Kane was very effective in the quarterfinals, so that'll be an interesting tussle between the two. Yeah,
so many interesting matchups between these teams to keep an eye on right across the course of this particular game. Both teams were in the same group, topped by St Patrick's Drogheda. Anaduff finished 2 places back. Kilturbert split them in the group in Group 1. Remember, all semi-finalists have come from that particular group, so it shows that certainly the stronger side of it was in that particular section in 2021. Martin Feeney again here in possession. Has to look around here for support. He's been attracting half the Anaduff team. They're almost like wasps around a jam jar, but it's broken kindly here for their corner forward, Gary Fowley, and he taps the ball in and taps it over the bar. Well, there was so much attention paid there to Martin Feeney on that particular occasion. Somebody else had to be free. The corner forward got on the end of the move and took the point. Well, it's 2 points to no score in favour of Drogheda, Benny.
Yeah, that was a great run from Gary Foley. He just made it at the right time, and in fairness, Martin Feeney saw him and picked him out very well.
Yeah, he took it really well. 2 excellent points for the Drogheda bid so far. They'll be quite happy with the way that they've settled into this particular game. Ball won back here by Anaduff once more now. In possession for them is Mark Byrne wearing number 4. Here's Dylan Kane, the full back that's going to have that great tussle on his hands today. Hugh Moynihan breaking at speed here. Good, strong, powerful runner. Again, it's that direct running from Anaduff, and they've won a free this time. It's interesting to see they're running from deep. They're taking on Drogheda, and I suppose it could be their physical presence, and breaking the tackle is going to be absolutely key for them if they persist with this game plan. Sean McNabolia is going to be the free taker here for Anaduff. They're looking for their opening score of the match. We've played over 4.5 minutes. It's Drogheda who lead by 2 points to no score, but McNabolia now has the opportunity to cut that deficit in half, taps in the free. The umpires like the look of that. It's gone in and gone over the bar. 2 points to 1. Excellent start to this game, Benny.
Yeah, very exciting start, and just looking out to see Frank Shanley, the Anaduff corner forward, is actually doing a sweep and roll, so he's sitting on top of the D like he did in the quarter-final, and that's given Kyle Hart sort of to do the same in the other end of the field for Drogheda.
We touched on it there just in the commentary as well. For Anaduff, with so many runners coming from deep, their ability to break the tackle is going to be hugely important.
Yeah, their physical side, and again, they'll do that.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things just to keep an eye out here on this particular encounter. It's nicely poised. 2 points to 1. The first of the Intermediate Championship semi-finals for 2021. Shane Fowley again was the man in possession around the middle of the field there. It comes back all the way here to James Morrison. Got some spaces on a Duff retreat. Now he plays it in there to the man wearing 8, Adrian Fowley. Again, trying to get something moving here at Drogheda. Whistle sounds on the 45-metre line, and that's going to be another free in here for the Drogheda team in white and red this afternoon. They'll be quite happy with how the game has started, leading by 2 points to 1. Indeed, when the teams met in the group stages of the competition, it really was a dead rubber. That ball has been played forward here to Declan Fowley. Number 17 on his back, recycles the ball quickly out to Martin Feeney. Drops short this time and taken there by Dara Burke. The goalkeeper did well under that particular ball. It was a dangerous one dropping in there. Remember, 2-7, the Drogheda team lost to Anaduff. 3 points in it in the end, 2-7 to 1-7. But there was a number of first-team starters not playing for Drogheda that evening. Indeed, Ray Cox did not feature for Anaduff either. Here come Anaduff on the attack once more, bringing it forward. Here is Shane Morrison for them. Morrison has the opportunity to look up and get the pass away. Plays it outside up here to Liam Taylor. Was an injury doubt after picking up a heavy enough knock against Drumkieran in a bruising encounter the last day. Conor Reynolds gets that ball forward, takes the return. He's running at speed here. Conor Reynolds goes to ground into Egan, right up at the place. There's no foul, but he's recycled the ball, and a shot is inside, and a brilliant finish into the back of the net. It was Jason Ward who had the composure to slot that one in low and hard. The goalkeeper hadn't a chance there, and let's look at it again. Well, there was advantage played. Out it came here to Jason Ward. forward, and look at that for a finish. Precision, great accuracy, right in the corner. Super goal, Benny.
Yeah, that all started from Conor Reynolds running at the Dromahair defence, but in fairness to Jason Ward, classical finish in low into the bottom corner.
Oh, it was that good of a finish. John McGoldrick, the goalkeeper, knew he hadn't a chance of getting to that one in time. He was rooted to the line. Maybe he was caught wrong-footed, but it was an excellent finish by Jason Ward, and that has given Anaduff subtonic 1-1 to 2 points now. They lead by two scores each, but that goal is absolutely crucial. How will Dromahair respond, Benny? That's going to be key.
Well, again, they need to get the likes of Martin Feeney on the ball, Jamie Conlon on the ball, and start winning the battle around midfield.
Sean Dignan again is the man who has won that attack. Here he's involved once more in the move. He won possession back. Now it's played inside here to Aaron Dignan. Look at the direct running again, and their ability to break the tackle is something that we've identified here fairly early in the game. Sean Dignan again at the end of the move. Gets it on to the right this time. Plays it here to Jason Ward, the goal scorer. Looking to turn provider. Liam Taylor, wearing number 26, gets his pass away there where Shane Morrison is right up in the attack. Look at the way that Anaduff have so many players in support. The referee again spotting the infringement. He's going to bring it forward. There was some dissent in the ranks there as well, and it's a hugely scoreable free here coming up for Anaduff. Momentum has swung to them early on.
Definitely has, John, and again the likes of Liam Taylor using his physicality, running at Dromahair, putting them on the back foot, and you would imagine an easy free for Sean McNabola.
Sean McNabola indeed taps it over. Second point of the game from him. It's now 1-2 to 2 points. That has to be a worry from Dromahair. We've looked at it right from the start, Benny. Anaduff's ability to break through the tackle, to get players running, not being stopped, they're worrying, I suppose, factors that have to be taken into consideration by Pádraig Clancy early on.
Yeah, and it's always pace, John. If a team can run at pace, it puts the opposition under pressure straight away.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the contrast as well in the build-up here. Martin Feeney absolutely key to Dromahair. Here they come again. Declan Fowley bringing the ball forward here. Dromahair somewhat rocked by the concession of 1-1 inside the last couple of minutes, but there's plenty of time. Shane Fowley again in the middle of the field. Plays that ball outside him. They're 45 metres out from goal here. St Patrick's Dromahair. The men from North Leitrim. Whistle sounds from the referee. Free out for Anaduff. They're really sticking to their task well defensively in this game. The quick ball down again to the forward line. Numerical advantage there for Dromahair, and Kyle Hart is the man who has gone back to clear up the latest situation in Anaduff attack for them. Dromahair trailing here at this stage, but a team who have been hugely impressive in the championship thus far, looking to make it through to the final. Last time they won the junior championship was back in 2014. Ball played down again to that forward line, this time won once more by their number 13, Gary Fowley, and it's going to be a free in, and really is supposed to be no real surprises in who's going to be kicking this one for them. Again, they're going to be bringing out their scorer-in-chief to try and take this one. They probably need a score here, Benny, from Martin Feeney, just to settle them down after conceding 1-1 themselves.
Yeah, but we're sort of mentioning Martin Feeney a lot, but I have to say the off-the-ball running by Gary Foley is excellent as well. He's given great opportunity for the outside men to hit him. Supreme
accuracy once again from Martin Feeney. Second point of the game from him as he taps that one between the posts. It's now 1-2 to 3 points, just two between them. I tell you, it's a good open game, exactly what we're expecting here. Hugely competitive, Benny.
Yeah, so far very enjoyable, John. Two very competitive teams.
Well, there was a school of thought, and again I say this with the utmost of respect to Kilturbert and to Bannaglero, but there was a school of thought during the week that the winners of this game could have a major say in the destination of the Intermediate Championship. By the way, whoever wins the Intermediate Championship in Leitrim will be taking on the Galway champions in the quarter-finals of the competition. That draw was made during the week. Here come Anaduff. It's the same, by the way, for senior. The Leitrim senior champions will take on the Galway representatives as well. The only difference being a junior, where it's going to be Leitrim and Sligo in the early rounds of the competition there. Anaduff have won back possession here once more, and now they've managed to square the ball outside them here. Shot coming in from distance, but going wide this time. Opportunities there again for them. Aaron Dignan was right up at the attack there. They did well to win possession. They set up the chance, just to finishing let them down this time.
Yeah, that was a dangerous ball across from Conor Reynolds, but in fairness, it was well gathered, and you know what, that should have been put over the bar.
It should have been, absolutely. In a game and conditions maybe where they're a little bit heavy down there, scoring chances you might feel maybe could be somewhat at a premium, but still the two teams have settled down to their task really well here in the early exchanges of this game. Kelly playing it through the middle. Shane Fowley again manages to win possession here for Dromahair. Gets the pass outside him. They're moving the ball fairly freely now. That's gone into a situation where Anaduff once again have that numerical advantage in defence, and they're able to cut it out. Hugh Moynihan is the man who comes away with it. 45 metres out from his own goal. It's been a common feature of the game, the way they're able to run and break the tackle. The support play has been fantastic. Aaron Dignan benefiting a lot from possession over on the old stand side of the field early on. Turns and checks his run here as Anaduff again make sure that they have plenty of options available. Conor Reynolds hugely influential in the last move. Mark Byrne loves to get forward. Here he goes, the number 4, motoring up the field onto the 45-metre line. Plays that speculative ball in over the top. Brilliantly taken by Jason Jason Ward. 1 goal to his credit already. Moving forward here is Kenny Cox this time, trying to go forward. Referee again blowing the whistle, or not blowing the whistle, waiting for advantage, I should say. Dean Gill there, and enough recycling it all the time. Can they get somebody in a position to have a shot? Sean Dignan might fancy it off the left boot, dropping in and dropping out to the right and the post and wide. Didn't take a deflection. Second wide of the game for Anna Duff.
Yeah, and one thing about Anna Duff, the fact that they're having their sweeper, it's given the opportunity for Dylan Kane to run up the field, Hugh Moylan to run up the field, and Mark Byrne to run up the field, because they know if the ball breaks down, they have cover behind.
Yeah, and Dylan Kane, 27 years of age, Mark Byrne a few years older at 41, but still really getting up and down the field, motoring nicely in this game. It's fantastic to see the fitness level of Anna Duff at this stage. They had that kind of a strange build-up to the championship, but last year's final looming large, that was only played in July, came right back and eventually got through the group stages, won their quarter-final by a point against Drumkeeran, and here they are back at the semi-finals again. And a technical foul in the ball there, so that's going to be another free-taking opportunity for Anna Duff. Drumahare looked a little bit rattled since the concession of the goal early on. Conor Reynolds, again, is going to be an absolutely key player for Anna Duff here in the game. They're not really missing Ray Cox as of yet, but what a player he'll be to bring in. Conor Reynolds taking the return. He's got support outside him. Lovely, attractive build-up play again here as they played the ball right down through the centre. Again, Taylor is doing well. Again, has come back here towards Shane Morrison. Pass just left a little bit to be desired on that particular occasion. Alert to the danger was Leon Hart, and that's going to be a free out for the Drumahare team. Really kicked into no man's land, but into Egan, blows the whistle once more, spotted something not right there, and that's going to be another free. Sometimes when you can see the goal, Benny, you can see how it can affect teams, and I think Drumahare, who started so well, have been a little bit taken aback by the concession of that goal.
Yeah, they look a little bit laboured getting the ball up the field. You'd like to see what Anna Duff are doing, really running at Anna Duff and put them on the back foot and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if any alterations are going to be made on the water break as well. I can tell you the extra players Anna Duff have back there, they're really hoovering up any type of possession that's going in there to the forward line, and they're nullifying the threat of Martin Feeney so far as well, which has to be another concern for St Patrick's Drumahare. Of more concern now would be the fact that Jason Ward is in possession once again, switches the ball outside. Up at the attack again was Dean Gill. Again the ball played down there towards Sean Dignan. Dignan keeping it alive close to the corner, forced out wide here by the St Patrick's defence, but he has support. Dean Gill again had pushed up right of the attack, and Jason Ward has come back round the blind side again. Lovely intelligent ball into Hugh Moynihan here onto the right boot. Can Moynihan land this one over the bar? He's a long way out. Super effort in and over the bar. Great intelligent play again. They worked the ball exactly to the player who was in the right position this time to have a shot, and that was number 6 Hugh Moynihan, who ghosted in round the back. And the finish here, Benny, off the right boot, absolutely spectacular finish in and over the bar. Wonderful point.
Excellent finish from Hugh Moylan, but as we noted earlier on, John, it's given the likes of him the liberty to run at Drumahare, the fact that they have a man back covering in defence.
Adrian Fowley, fabulous catch in the middle of the field. Michael Clancy now looking to benefit from it, wearing number 12 but playing in the full forward line, has support outside, and once again now this is better from Drumahare, weaving the way through. It looked like there was a push in the back there. Well, from here, referee into Egan was right up at it. From here it looked maybe as if Gary Fowley had got a hand in the back. Don't know how you read that one, Benny.
I wouldn't maybe have given it, John, to be honest, and I thought Hugh Moylan did very well getting across on him, but that was one time that Drumahare moved the ball and it was nearly in the back of the net. Well,
in fairness to Egan, he was an awful lot closer to it than I was, but Drumahare not getting the free on that particular occasion. Here comes James Conlon now. They're number 6, better from Drumahare. They're spraying the ball a little bit more wide. Martin Feeney is out to get this one onto the left boot. He's a real handful, dangerous one dropping in there that the goalkeeper Dara Burke did really well to deal with. Well, it was a high ball dropping in crossbar height, and I can tell you with that autumnal sunshine that we've got down there, Benny, that was a much more difficult one than perhaps what it looked to deal with.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to mention, John. The sun is extremely strong going into them goals, so he did very, very well, Dara Burke.
Yeah, free coming in here for Conor Reynolds, not wearing a baseball cap either, which is a little bit strange. Out it comes here to Killian McLaughlin once more. Conor Reynolds right up again there with the attack. Good play from Anna Duff here. Aaron Dignan bringing the ball forward. Their number 8 runs into the tackle. That probably contributed to maybe him not giving the best pass in the world. Drumahare have won the ball back, and it's going to be a free out. 1-3-3. Goals are going to be absolutely crucial in this particular game. There's little doubt about that, Benny.
Yeah, absolutely, John, and it's whoever creates that space inside and takes advantage.
It's going to be fascinating to see how this game works out between the respective game plans that they have there. Martin Feeney again in possession here. Look at the Anna Duff cover coming into him. Gets his pass away here to Shane Fowley. Central ball once more. Drumahare looking to prize open an opportunity for James Morrison. That one again is hit somewhat wayward. O's come back off the post. It curled in nicely in the end. Drumahare have got the ball back. Chance here. Shot comes in there from the number 13, Gary Fowley, but it goes right across the face of the goal and wide. An opportunity there for Drogheda. They failed to take it, but worrying moments. A ball off and upright like that. There it came. Watch the number 13, hugely alert for it. Watch the shot, snapshot, right across the face of the goal. Nobody there to take advantage, and the referee has seen enough and decided to call the water break. Benny Guckin, we've watched a fascinating game here. 3 between the teams at the interval. The goal absolutely crucial. It was brilliantly taken, one has to say, by Jason Ward. Drogheda had an opportunity at the other end that went narrowly wide just before the water break, and there's very small margins between these teams.
Yeah, look, as you said at the very start, John, there was going to be very little between them, and it is only the goal at the moment. I suppose Anaduff were fortunate to get the goal. Maybe Drogheda were a little bit unfortunate not to get the goal there, but really enjoying a good, exciting game.
Yeah, well, indeed, Drogheda en route to this particular stage of the competition. Defeated Aucknasheelan, defeated Bannaglera, got the better of Kilturbert and lost to Anaduff, but really that was the final game, and many might have seen it perhaps as a dead rubber. In the quarter-finals, Barnacoole 118 to 11 points were winners. Drogheda were winners against them, and indeed, as we've talked about a few times, that an awful lot of people were predicting that we could maybe be looking at perhaps the potential county champions coming from this particular tie.
Yeah, look at it. I suppose that's a very dangerous game to play, like, you know, but you'd have to say there are 2 very strong teams that are out there today, you know, physically, skill-wise, and there's going to be very little that will separate them at the end, you would imagine. But tomorrow's game is a massively big game as well.
Well, and so certainly is going to be another massive game to see who gets through to the final there on it. Of course, Smith Monumentals, the sponsors of the Intermediate Football Championship here in Leitrim, and a huge, huge occasion for all concerned here as the teams look to go forward to try and win this particular encounter. Smith Monumentals in Bannamore, of course, and a week from tomorrow, the senior football final taking place at Bannamore. Shara Hestland's taking on Bohol in that particular encounter. The 2 teams moving out here, getting ready for the second quarter to get underway. Again, the managers, would you be a fan of these water breaks, Benny? Can you adjust much at the end of a quarter of a game?
Do you know what? I think they served their purpose, but I would like to see just a full 30 minutes, John, without interruption.
Absolutely.
And just get back to the way it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are maybe yearning for that. The kick-out will come eventually from the goal over to our right. I think it's where play broke down the last time. It should be a kick-out for Dara Burke. Goalkeeper about to take it. The netminder on the other side is John McGoldrick, watching on carefully as this game begins to play out. But you can see there the Anaduff keeper, Dara Burke, won numerous underage titles at Roscommon with Michael Glavis. And indeed a goalkeeper as well who has a background, I believe, in soccer in the not too distant past. Did really well with one high ball dropping in under the crossbar in that opening period of play. Still has decided not to engage in the services of a baseball cap, which is somewhat maybe strange considering that sun shining in there, Benny.
Yeah, and sometimes, do you know what, a keeper actually might just literally forget to put it into his bag. And I suppose I'd always be preaching about preparation, you know, getting your bag ready the night before and sort of ticking off every box that you have everything you need.
No doubt about it, and especially at this particular time of the year as well. Now Drogheda looking to try and do something here. Again, they've managed to play the ball in there to Declan Fowley. Plays a somewhat inviting ball in over the top here for the attack, and they've managed to win possession here 21 metres out or so from the goal. But great tigerish marking by Mark Byrne, going back there, smelling that there was danger and cutting it out, getting the supporter as well from Sean Dognan, wearing number 10. Dognan fouled deep in his own half of the field, and that's going to be another free out for Anaduff, who'll be very happy with the way that it's going, considering that the big cannons still have to be introduced off the bench in the second half, Benny.
Yeah, but I suppose we can't just rely on Ray Cox that he's going to make that massive difference that he made in the quarter-final. But, you know, Anaduff need to play in the moment.
Conor Reynolds covering a lot of the ground early on. Stephen Murray, who there may have been some concern about in the lead up to in the week leading up to the game. Hugh Moynihan there wearing number 6 again, and Anaduff get motoring in a tactic that has worked really well for them here in the opening half. Ball played outside again towards Dean Gill. Good use of possession. Down it goes there towards the wing forward. Sean Dognan has it. Dognan is breaking clear here. Dognan in on goal. Decides to fist at the end, and it's come back off the upright. Real dangerous moments there for the Drogheda team. And once again, Benny, it's when Anaduff run, they're breaking the tackle, they're getting in on goal. That's just creating the opportunities.
Yeah, and the Drogheda back was unfortunate. He just slipped at the wrong time, but I think that was Kenny Cox that was
it in the end?
Yeah, but and you know what, probably took the right option of trying to fist it over the bar.
Well, they're certainly getting so much, I suppose, success from that when they're running from deep and taking on the Drogheda cover. Something very, very difficult to stop, even despite how many players that you get back there. Killian McLaughlin once again wearing number 5 here for Drogheda. Again trying to get away from his marker. Again the referee in Deacon has given the free the favour of Anaduff at the minute, and it's somewhat of a rear guard action for Drogheda now at the moment. Once more, Reynolds is the man who is going to take it. Takes the return pass as well. Conor Reynolds has looked very lively, covered huge amount of ground as well. Aaron Duignan onto the 45-metre line, switches it back outside him once again to Hugh Moynihan. He's got 1 point to his credit thus far in the game. A Drogheda player, as you can see there in Canberra, gone down injured, so they're going to need some treatment on him at this particular moment in time as well. But it is a huge Drogheda panel that they've brought here, about 41 players in the extended panel. Good to see a junior team going well, and certainly proving to be a feeder belt, as Mick McGurl, the linesman on this near side, has a chat there with Indy. And Mick McGurl, of course, the man who was on duty for the second of the senior semi-finals last week, where Leitrim Gaels and Mohill played out an absolute classic. Quick word on that game, Benny. What a semi-final.
Sorry, John?
That semi-final last week, the Leitrim Gaels semi-final against Mohill.
And we mentioned before about Leitrim Gaels, you know, the young team, and they're hungry, and they really went at Mohill and put Mohill under pressure, which would have been a good test for Mohill. And
to put it into the context of the Smith Monumentals Intermediate Football Championship as well, we've seen recent winners in Bandamore back, I think, in 2016. Leitrim Gaels were fairly recent winners as well in this particular competition. Teams that have really kicked on and are certainly holding their own now at senior level.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to that senior final. I think it's going to be a really good battle. Everybody thought Mohill were going to have it their own way, but Ballinamore proved against St Mary's that, you know, they're a team that are really going to go at it.
And that's all taking place, of course, the week from tomorrow. Of course, the game will be televised by TG Carter for the first ever time in Leitrim as well, a historic occasion. Meanwhile, Anaduff coming forward here. Hugh Moynihan again onto the right boot. 1 point already. Can he make it 2? He certainly can. It goes in and over the bar. 2nd point from him. And again, I suppose it's somewhat of a problem for Drogheda is picking up the runners from deep here, Benny.
Yeah, and definitely another great score from your centre-back. That's what you love to see, a centre-back coming through the middle, taking the ball and putting it over the bar. Great score from Hugh Moylan.
Lovely for everybody, maybe with the exception of who's supposed to be playing centre-half forward for St Patrick's, Drogheda.
Absolutely, and that's something that maybe the Drogheda should have picked up on the water break, that they knew that Anaduff were going to run through the middle at them, and they need to do something about it.
A little bit of daylight between the teams now. 1 goal and 4 for Anaduff and 3 points for Drogheda, but this is so nicely poised. And do not write off Drogheda here. They had an absolutely magnificent game against Gartletcher last year in the semi-finals that ebbed and flowed. McLaughlin again bringing this ball forward. Indeed, Anaduff had a cracking game against Carrigallen as well in the other of the semi-finals. Ball played in here towards James Conlon. Once more touched on the ground. Technical foul again. At this time the guilty party was Gary Fowley. And in fairness to Deegan, he's right up at it, and he spotted a couple of those early on, Benny.
He is. He's doing a very good game, and he's letting it run when it needs to run. But as you say, the technical fouls, he's picking up on them all the time.
Yeah, in fairness, I think the standard of the refereeing that we've seen in both intermediate and senior championships has been excellent this year. Well done to all the officials. Once more, possession here with Dylan Kane for Anaduff. Kane now moving forward. Gets that right-footed delivery again over there towards the far side of the field. It goes. Shane Morrison chasing after this one, but it's Drogheda who emerge with it. Getting 1 or 2 spells of possession now. Martin Feeney has dropped out way deep and wide to get that one, but he has possession. Now what can he do? There's 4 or 5 Anaduff men in his immediate vicinity. Very much deprived of options, but it goes back to Bertie Cunningham. And Drogheda have to build again. James Morrison once more now. That's a high, speculative, dangerous ball dropping in there in the evening sunshine. Goalkeeper comes out to deal with it, does well to take it there. And in fairness to Dara Burke, he's an excellent goalkeeper under a high ball. And if you're a defender in there, that really fills you with confidence to see your goalkeeper coming out and commanding his area like that.
Yeah, that's what I like about him. Dara Burke, he comes out and he, as you rightly say, he commands his square. He's not a bit shy about running that forwards. And you know what? That makes forwards a little doubt in their back of their mind that this man is going to come and jump on top of me.
Yellow card as well been shown to Martin Feeney at the end of all that particular move too, so he has to be a little bit more careful of how this game goes on. I suppose if you're a target or a forward of his ability, you will be a target man, and you have to know how to protect yourself, but it has to be within the rules. First yellow card showed there to Martin Feeney. Anaduff on the counter-attack coming forward again with Conor Reynolds. Reynolds looking to try and prise open the defence here. Still Reynolds moving now towards the opposition 45-metre line, the general area that he wants to get in. Has to recycle it back to Hugh Moynihan once again. All the way across comes to Mark Byrne. Anaduff quite happy to play the ball around. Conor Reynolds, always players available for them. Dylan Kane. Once more, St Patrick's here have dropped a lot of players back. So they played the ball in over the top to try and unlock the blanket defence. Back there was Rory Kelly. Kelly fouled as he's attempting to come away with it, and that's going to be a free out for Drogheda. They're getting an awful lot of players back, Benny, but sometimes when you have so many players back like that, it can be almost counterproductive if they're not picking up somebody.
Yeah, and I think we've mentioned that too, John. They're laboured. The fact that they have so many men back, they're not getting up the field at pace, and they're giving Anaduff that opportunity to flood their defence.
Yeah, James Morrison, that transition from defence to attack maybe not working out, but here's an opportunity for Gary Fowley now, running at the Anaduff cover. And in fairness, Benny, that's something that you mentioned a few minutes ago, that you'd like to see them adapt some of the Anaduff tactics, like a forward running at a defender. There we had an opportunity, and it's resulted in a hugely scoreable free for Martin Feeney.
Yeah, because in fairness to Gary Foley and Martin Feeney, the two of them are making the runs inside off the ball. We probably can't see it on the camera, but they are making the runs, and if the ball could be got in quicker, they will get scores. 3
points now for Martin Feeney as he converts that free. Gary Fowley has scored 1, so that's where the 4 points has come from, that Dromahare full forward line. And it's still Anaduff who lead 1-4. The goal still proving to be hugely decisive here at this stage. 25 minutes played in the opening half, and once again Dara Burke about to take the kick out. Indeed, both goalkeepers here today certainly have got plenty of presence about them, would be a fair way to describe them. In this match so far, the opposite keeper, John McGoldrick, 30 years of age, and what I like to see about both of these goalkeepers, have got a real presence about them. The kick out taken once more, dropping it towards the midfield area it goes. Race for possession, won here by Leon Hart. Immediately the whistle sounds from Indeegan to signal that that's going to be another free for St. Patrick's Dromahare. Taken quickly and switched over to the far side of the field. Now eventually it's going to go down there again towards the forward line. Again there's possibilities here now. Fowley taking on his marker, looking to cut inside. Still moving in, tries to square the ball there. Referee has blown the whistle. He signals that it was a foul. Now was it inside or outside, Benny?
It looked inside to me, John. We might see it again on the replay. Great turn.
He's going in to chat the umpires off camera at the minute. Well, here it is. Here's the tackle coming in. Definitely a foul. Now, was it inside or outside? That's what the big question is going to have to be answered here by the referee. I think it's going to be a free. Anyways, he's got some paperwork to do here in the form of Stephen Murray, who's going to be adjudged to be the guilty party there. What do you think the consequences could be here for Stephen Murray, Benny?
I would imagine a yellow.
Yeah, you're dead right. So Stephen Murray picks up the yellow, and a free is what it is going to be. And maybe Anaduff might consider themselves maybe a let-off on 2 fronts there. One, the fact it was a yellow card, and B, the fact it was a free as opposed to a penalty. But Martin Feeney will extract some form of punishment as he taps that one in and over the bar. His 4th point of the game, and it now leaves it 5 points to 1 goal and 4. Running at the Anaduff defence once again, maybe the best avenue for success here for St. Patrick's Dromahare.
I definitely think so, John. Like that quick ball in again into Gary Foley, and his turn was absolutely brilliant. And you know what? In hindsight, it was probably a good foul, because the chance to worry was going to end up in the back of the net.
Oh, definitely, no doubt about it. Definitely a great decision from the defender to take. Concession of a point, much more beneficial than the concession of 3. We've got 3 minutes left here to half time. Again, the referee waiting for the kick out to be taken. And again, it's going to be Dara Burke, the man who strikes it over towards this near side of the field. Really competitive game here. Hopefully you're enjoying it wherever you're watching our coverage of the Smiths Monumental Intermediate Football Championship. Kenny Cox took a little bit too long on that one, so the referee decides that it's going to be a hot ball.
Yeah, and again, compliments to Indeegan. You know, he's the technical foul again. He's playing it as it should be.
Over here, of course, junior champions back in 2001 and 1998 as well, so they have some form of success coming into this particular competition. We're really looking to try and make that elevation back up to the senior level once more. Coming forward here for Dromahare is Bertie Cunningham now, plays that one outside of Jamie Conlon. Conlon here, we've seen a centre half back come up and kick a couple of points from the other side, but the accuracy just not there for Jamie Conlon at the moment, as he sends that one out to the left of the post and out wide. Wide's not that frequent here today, Benny. In fairness to the two teams, what they're trying to do is get the players in the best position eventually to have shots. So again, signs of teams that are well drilled and a good team ethos, despite some marquee names in both sides. It's very much getting into the player that's in the best position to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, and that's very much a thing in focus at the moment, is about percentage shots and getting players in the best positions. And in fairness to Jamie Conlon, he was in the best position but just went wide at the post.
Dara Burke again takes that kick out, smack bang in the middle, but nobody there from an Anaduff perspective. Easily gathered here by St. Patrick's Dromahare. Well picked up there and well running at the defence was Michael Clancy. Again, the foul conceded. Again, it's going to be Martin Feeney who is coiled in to take the free. So Feeney again looking at this one carefully. If we could put this one over the bar, it really would make it interesting here. 1-4-5. Scoreline stands at the moment, just 2 between them. Another one here, and we could be looking at a 1-point ball game. Feeney off the right boot again. This time it's dropping out to the wrong side of the post, it seems, and it's gone wide. So a couple of wides in quick succession there for Dromahare. Well, there's no doubt about it. Anaduff, call it what you will, you could come up with other words, but they're streetwise. They're not giving Dromahair that opportunity to try and penetrate their rear guard.
Absolutely, but one thing I admire about Dromahair, the fact that Anaduff are playing the sweeper, they're pushing up on the kick out and they're not giving Anaduff the opportunity to get off a quick kick out. So compliments to Dromahair, they're really going for it, they're pushing up.
And that was a very, I suppose, a successful ploy. 2 minutes, incidentally, of additional time is going to be added on at the end of the opening half. Eamon O'Grady, one of our team of officials here today, has just signalled that here to the attendance here in Advant Money Park Shaw McDiarmid. Again, some possession won by Anaduff here. Long extended season for them after playing last year's final at the beginning of the summer. Indeed, a team which was led to this or that particular stage of the competition by Carl Foley. Our sympathies to him and the passing of his mum and over the last number of days as well. And that's going to be another free coming in. As you can see, Dromahair players at Martin Clancy. It is.
Looks like Martin Clancy.
It is Martin Clancy who's gone down there and has picked up that little bit of a knock. One thing about here, Benny, I was down talking to the two managers a little bit earlier on pitch side, and considering the weather that we've had over the last number of days and the huge number of matches played here, Advant Money Park Shaw McDiarmid, an absolutely fantastic condition. I think a huge credit must go to the ground staff here. It really has stood up very well to the weather that we've had and the number of games that's been played in it.
I have to completely agree with you on that, John. And you know what? They could have taken the under-17 county final out of it today to protect this game and the game tomorrow, but they didn't. You know, they sort of gave the under-17s the opportunity to play in the county grounds. But absolutely credit to the staff because the pitch is in great nick.
It looks absolutely fantastic indeed, looking really well at this particular stage of the season. And of course, a big week coming up, the senior final on next weekend. Fortnight's time, the intermediate final going to be played. The winners of this game taking on the winners of tomorrow's second semi, which is going to be contested by Kiltubbers and Bandaglera. That's another game you can see with us live here on the Leitrim GA platform. We'll be going live tomorrow from 2:30 for the second of those games tomorrow afternoon. So make a date in your diary. Who's going to be the team to advance from here? That question still very much has to be answered. 2 minutes of additional time to be played at the end of the opening half. St Patrick's Dromahair looking to try and reduce the deficit somewhat between now and then, maybe to make the half-time team talk for their manager Pádraig Clancy a little bit easier. Free will come here for Jamie Conlon, wearing number 6 once again. Again, surveying the options, might decide to go wide. Was expecting somebody to make a run off the right shoulder. Wasn't really happening, so instead he goes back, and you can see again the whole important onus that's placed on making sure that they hold on to possession. Kyle Hart is the man who drew in the foul. Again, the referee has got the notebook out. Maybe might be ticking on this occasion, just not happy with the persistent fouling that's going on. Martin Clancy has thankfully recovered, and just look at him go. In fact, it's the number 17, I think, it's Declan Fowley who's making the run right up the field this time. Plays the ball out here to Feeney. Now is there a score here just before half-time for Martin Feeney? No way forward for him. Has to go back to Shane Fowley again. Midfielder has it just outside the 45-metre line. Plays it out here to Michael Clancy this time. Back here it comes to Jamie Conlon. Anaduff really putting on the pressure here, not giving them a moment on the ball. Instead, the attack is switched now to this near side. James Morrison has it. Morrison fouled, takes the free. They've penetrated a little bit of an opening here. Possibilities now for Martin Clancy. Manages to get the ball back to Feeney. Right man, right place, right time. Takes the score. 5th point of the game from Martin Feeney. Well worked move by Dromahair there. Real patience shown again by them in the build-up, and they got Feeney in the right place to have the shot.
Yeah, but credit to James Morrison. He was fouled and he looked up straight away and gave off the pass, and that was a great finish again by Martin Feeney.
5 points now for Martin Feeney in the game so far. 6 for Dromahair, 1 goal and 4 for Anaduff. Just a single point between the teams here now as we head in towards half-time. And of course there will be movement in the second half from the substitutes bench, but this game is so nicely poised here at this stage, Benny. It was a real difficult one to call, to predict in the week leading up to it, and it's lived up to that particular billing. 2 teams very evenly matched, going at it, hugely committed as well, it must be said, and really it could go anyway.
Yeah, and I suppose the first quarter Anaduff sort of dominated possession of the game, but after the water break, you know, Dromahair got into it. They kept at it and kept at it, and you know, 6 points is a good return with the amount of possession they've had. So look at it. I'm really looking forward to a second half. Very, very hard to call at this stage. I suppose the guy that we were going to be mentioning is Ray Cox coming off the bench. What sort of an impact is he going to have? Will it be the same as the last day? But you would imagine Dromahair know that that's coming, and they might be able to deal with it.
Obviously no Ray Cox, no Dermot Reynolds as well for Anaduff. When you consider that, they'll probably be going in here quite happy to be leading by a point, but as we mentioned, still in the balance, but it puts them maybe slightly in the box seat.
Yeah, but just I was looking at Aaron Degnan there in the last 5 minutes. I think he got a bang in the ankle and he was sort of carrying that. If that will have an impact on him for the second half, I don't know. But Look, I suppose they need to get the likes of Kenny Cox a little bit more on the ball, Sean McNabola a bit more on the ball. Conor Reynolds is doing as he always does. He's sort of the playmaker. But look, I think an awful lot's going to depend on Ray Cox's introduction.
Well, we're all waiting for that. It'll be interesting to see what he does when he comes on. It'll be interesting to see how Drubba Hare decide to counteract him, and maybe if they deploy anybody in a man-marking role. All that's to come in the second half. Right now, it's half-time here in Advant Money Park, Shaw McGibbert and the Smith Monumentals Leitrim Intermediate Football Championship semi-finals. It couldn't be much tighter. It's Anaduff who lead by 1 at the interval. Anaduff a goal and 4. Drubba Hare 6 points. Join us shortly for second half coverage. And you're very welcome back to Advant Card Park Shaw McGibbet, or Advant Money Park Shaw McGibbet. This the second half of the Smith Monumental Leitrim Intermediate Football Championship semi-finals about to get underway. Already back out of St Patrick's Drummer here. Joe Cox keeping Anna Duff in the dressing room maybe a little bit longer to get through his message for the second period. And it'll be hugely interesting, I suppose, some of the things that we touched on, Benny, during the course of the game thus far. The running of deep and the fact that Hugh Moynihan has got 2 points there for Anna Duff. That's something that Drummer here have to be alert to. They're flooding an awful lot of players back, but they've still got to be mindful of players who can kick long distance scores to get by a blanket defence.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, the fact that Frank Shanley is sitting back on the top of the D, it gives the likes of Dylan Kane and Hugh Moylan and even Martin Byrne that luxury to run up the field. But definitely the Drumahare management would have to be aware of that, and they would have to counteract it in the second half.
Well, it's interesting to see. Maybe Anna Duff could have taken some inspiration from their neighbours Barnacool in the quarter-finals. The performance of Damien Moran that day was one of the standout features from Barnacool. Big, strong, powerful man that can run at the ball, and maybe that's been hugely successful for Anna Duff so far today. Their ability to overturn the tackle, great support play, but direct lines of running seems to be a problem for Drumahare.
Yeah, it definitely does, John. But just before the ball is thrown in, we've mentioned Ray Cox. He hasn't actually lined out yet in the second half, so that'll be interesting when they're going to spring him.
So they're keeping the powder dry and maybe could introduce him at some stage a little bit later on. Freed there again, won by Anna Duff in the middle of the field. Kicked inside once more towards the forward line, and Conor Reynolds in particular that has impressed at various stages throughout the game thus far. The man who won the possession inside initially was Liam Taylor, has thankfully recovered from an injury that he picked up in the Drumkeeran game. A real war of attrition, that one for Anna Duff, but they came through it well. Leading here by 1 in the early stages of the second half, and indeed they've got an opportunity now to increase that lead, and Sean McNabolia is the man who is moving across there to take it.
Yeah, just a little bit of carelessness on behalf of the Drumahare defender. You know, the kick was about another 14 metres out, and in discipline the referee rightly brought it forward.
So Sean McNabolia, opportunity for him from this free. Strikes the ball in. He's a player perhaps that might have wanted to get on the game or in the game a little bit more, but he struck that one fairly well and he sends it over the bar. 3 points for him now in the game so far. 30 years of age, hugely accurate free taker, and indeed won a Division 1 league medal with the club in the past as well, hoping maybe to add the Intermediate Championship of 2021 to that personal collection. Once again, Anna Duff are pushed right up in the kick out, so no short options for John McGoldrick. Instead has to go long over towards that far side, but again possession won back here by Anna Duff. The likes of Kenny Cox really reading the game very well. Again, they managed to play the ball outside there. The running of Jason Ward has been a constant factor in the match so far. Was slightly off balance and maybe at a long distance out as he kicked that one, and failed to hit the target with it. Another wide there for Anna Duff.
Yeah, but you'd have to be impressed with Jason Ward's running. You know, he started the second half the way he finished the first, running at Drumahare, and do you know what, maybe a little bit unfortunate, didn't go over the bar.
John McGoldrick defending the goal. The scoreboard end here in the second half has the luxury to take the short kick out to Leon Hart this time. Hart given the opportunity to run. Still no movement on the respective benches as of yet. Leon Hart, little sail of a dummy, takes him by a couple of tackles. Eventually his progress unceremoniously stopped by Conor Reynolds. The tackle was high, maybe awkward more than anything else than malicious.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything really in it, but I suppose it was a high tackle.
It's a yellow card, it's
yeah, well, definitely I would issue a yellow card, I would imagine.
And that's what we're expecting, and indeed Indeegan sees it exactly the same way and issues a yellow card there to Conor Reynolds for Anna Duff. So the free will be coming in. It was a good run being made there by Leon Hart. It was interesting for once Anna Duff hadn't completely pushed up on the kick out. That allowed John McGoldrick the opportunity to go short, and they've walked it into a fairly advantageous position.
Yeah, and I suppose that it's good to see Drumahare getting the likes of Leon Hart to run at Anna Duff and put them on the back foot like what they were doing to them in the first half. So
the free about to be kicked in here for them. And a good opportunity again for Martin Feeney. 5 to his credit thus far. Again off the right boot. First real scoreable opportunity for him at the start of the second half, and he fails to take that one, and it goes wide.
Yeah, it was a long way out, and sometimes maybe you're better off going with the shorter option and taking the return and getting in a better scoreable position.
4-3 on the wide fronts in favour of St Patrick's Drummer here at the moment, and once again the goalkeeper Dara Burke, who thankfully from his perspective will not be facing that sun in the second half, has it to his back as he prepares to take the kick out here for the Anna Duff team. Still holding on to that lead, which is now stands at 2 points. The goal absolutely decisive, scored by Jason Ward a little bit earlier in this match. Anaduff again with Sean Dugdon in possession. Across to the far side of the field it goes. Now Kenny Cox running onto it at speed. Another two Dromahair players down injured, but Kenny Cox gets it onto the right boot. That's a dangerous one, dropping in. Goalkeeper has to be sure of this one and just manages to palm it out. Again, it was that high ball dropping in the evening sunshine, and it's going to be a free out. And again, there's going to be the possibilities here. Well, for Anaduff, that high ball coming in, we touched on it, how dangerous it can be. A high ball coming in like that for a goalkeeper really can be nightmare territory. Just spotted there in the replay as well. Will worrying moments perhaps for John McGoldrick.
Yeah, and we spoke about Dara Burton not having a baseball cap, but John McGoldrick is the same, no baseball cap, and that sun is very, very strong going in on top of his goal mouth. I
think there might be somebody from Dromahair maybe quickly moving across to lifestyle sports as we speak, maybe trying to get their hands on a baseball cap for the goalkeeper at this stage. In any case, it's worked back here kindly for Bertie Cunningham for the Dromahair team. Once more they're playing it through the channels, and Killian McLaughlin wearing number 5 was expected to feature mainly as a forward, but indeed Dromahair have transitioned a lot of players between defence and attack. Bertie Cunningham. Again, the ball has been kicked in here diagonally. Dangerous one dropping in here. Now there could be possibilities here for Dromahair. Feedy again into the move, onto the right boot. Makes it so simple, or makes it look so simple as he kicks it over. Point number 6 for him at this stage, and it's Dromahair's opening score of the second half.
Yeah, the right man on the ball, and a really good score from Dromahair, and that'll settle them into the second half.
One thing I love about him as a player, Benny, he makes it look so simple, doesn't he?
Yeah, but again, that's natural talent, John.
It is, yeah. You can't coach that.
Absolutely not. It's either in you or it's not in you, and he makes so much time on the ball for himself.
Absolutely, he really is a natural full forward, and always seems to have time, always seems to be able to make that extra bit of space. Lovely catch in the centre of the field there by Adrian Fowley. Good mark taken from him, and Dromahair now can counter-attack once more. Ball played in here towards Declan Fowley, wearing number 17, but a starter for Dromahair. Again, they're working the ball into a central position. Anaduff trying to gobble them up. It comes back here again to Martin Feedy, switches it over here to Michael Clancy, team captain, playing on top of the lift despite wearing number 12. James Morrison now in possession, onto the right boot. Plenty of aerial threat on this one. It's going to drop in there, but to the wrong side of the post and wide. And I think it's wide number 5 now at this stage for, or wide number 4, I should say. Wide number 5, my apologies, for Dromahair at this stage. So they're creating the opportunities, so getting players forward, and indeed it looks as if James Clancy, number 15 for them, is warming up and is about to be introduced as well. Well, he's been a starter for a lot of the games. He's a player that had an ankle injury, and just look who's warming up beside him. It really is going to be, I suppose, if it was a game of chess, it's time to move the Kings, Benny.
Yeah, and look, these are two great players are going to grace the field, and I'd be really looking forward to seeing the influence both of them are going to have on the game.
Ray Cox and James Clancy about to be introduced. It's getting serious now, as the saying goes. Now the ball played in there once again towards Declan Fowley, and Anaduff again having players back to deal with the situation. And again coming away with it there was Sean Dugdon, gets the clearance in towards the middle of the field, well taken once more by Adrian Fowley, but the whistle had sounded from the referee, and that allows the movements to take place as the white flag is raised on the sideline, and number 11 is coming off James Morrison for St Patrick's Dromahair. He's going to be replaced there by James Clancy, the man who was wearing number 15 and number 14, as if he needs any introduction for Anaduff. The one and only Ray Cox coming in, and number 8 Aaron Dugdon, I think, is going to be the man who is going to be called ashore. Positional change is taking place as well as those in personnel. Ray Cox, no surprises, is going to move into the edge of the square, and if things weren't bad enough for John McGoldrick with the sun shining brightly into his eyes, he's got to watch Ray Cox. Now, we've seen the game against Drumkeeran, who they put on to Markham to deploy somebody, I suppose, with the experience, the guile, and I suppose to be street wise, to have that knowledge, to have that experience to deal with Ray Cox. That's going to be huge for Dromahair as well. It's almost like a Brian Cody tactic of Anaduff, that you'd put a man like him maybe in on a younger player if you could, and see would he unsettle him.
Yeah, well, I was actually looking forward to maybe Jamie Conlon picking him up, because Jamie, you know, he'd know Ray, he would have marked him previously, and
here it goes in towards him already. First duel there between himself and Jamie Conlon, and indeed has gone the way of the veteran forward, and it's going to be a free in for Anaduff. Just his presence alone on the field, and has presented an opportunity here already for Sean McNabolia from the free, Benny.
Yeah, look, I think to have somebody like him, you know, there's a lot of younger players on the Anaduff team, and he naturally gives you a lift great to see him coming off the sideline, and you'd imagine that'll give Anaduff the lift. So they're now gone, what, 2 points ahead?
Yeah, 4 points in the game thus far for Sean McNabolia, certainly keeping the scoreboard ticking over him. 1 goal and 6, a total of 9, plays 7, 2 between them again, and Ray Cox is on. But let's not forget as well that James Clancy has been introduced on the other side of the field. Coming forward there was Kyle Hart for Drogheda. Good ball played in through the middle of St. Patrick's Mid now, getting the opportunity here with James Clancy just in, running at the cover. Still James Clancy getting by a couple of tackles here. It's just that direct running that Drogheda may be needed in the game so far, and he's won a free in. And the 2 super subs, if we can refer to them like that, are certainly making an impact early on, Benny.
Yeah, and they're going to have a massive influence in the last, 22 minutes, John. And in fairness to James, again, got on the ball, ran at Anaduff, and maybe that's some little thing that they were lacking in the first half.
Martin Feeney again is going to be the free taker. Well, we've seen him kick them off the right and left. Talk to me a little bit now about this angle. Will it suit him here as he tries to swing around?
Difficult.
Isn't it difficult,
John?
yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one for him. But he's a player of massive ability, massive accuracy, huge skill. This one, however, is going to drop in there dangerously again. Could break anywhere. A little bit uncertain in there, and they do well to get it back with Martin Clancy in there again, the number 7. Has to recycle possession. Back here comes towards JB Conlon. That's a dangerous one, dropping in there once more. And it's dropped in, and indeed it's gone in and all the way over the bar. Well, they recycled that one well. And I suppose what we need to see is maybe it's a game which has been renowned for centre backs coming up. 2 on one side getting a score, and or Hugh Moynihan's kicking 2, and now we have a point for Jamie Conlon as well.
Yeah, that was a brave kick from Jamie, because he kicked one wide there just before half time. So to see him to have the confidence, and that was a very difficult shot, and well done, Jamie Conlon.
Yeah,
good score.
His first point of the game. He's 29 years of age, captain of the Underdogs a few years ago on TG Cahir. Can play in midfielder, indeed in the forward line. And I suppose with accuracy like that, you could try him out as a forward maybe from time to time as well. Bertie Cunningham wins possession back. Quick delivery, and again, forward mark surely taken there, spotted by the referee, and it's going to be a free in. And once more, I think, was that Gary Fowley that was in there to take that one? So the free about to be kicked in almost immediately. Oh, he just didn't get the right execution on it. That's a pity to see, isn't it, Benny? Because the mark was taken. Yes, indeed, it was Gary Fowley. Well done to Brian Blake on camera for picking out the number at close distance, and he took it well.
He took his mark very well. But again, opportunities like that, you need to be getting them, John, in such a tight game, and he'd be very disappointed himself with that miss.
6-4 on the wides tallied out. Drogheda kicking the greater number of wides in this game. Still they trail by 1, 9 points to 8. I suppose a game we haven't had extra time in any of the knockout matches of the championship yet. I wouldn't rule it out here today. Could well be penalties maybe even needed to decide at this one. Coming forward once again here is Sean Dignan. Again, Anaduff with the patient build-up. Dignan fouled as he looked to get some momentum going. Strikes the left-footed free in quickly. Ray Cox has come well out to take this one ahead of his marker. Ball not really sticking to him that time. Leon Hart in the close proximity, able to capitalise on the error. Again, they worked it through with Jamie Conlon, and at the end of the move was Michael Clancy, benefiting now as he gets the ball forward and fouled just outside the 45-metre line. Well, Drogheda have adopted the policy a little bit more here in the second half, Benny. They're getting the ball, they're running, they're not really as one-dimensional of playing the ball into Martin Feeney. There's other points of attack in the field now for them, and I think they're a better team as a result. Yeah,
it's definitely paying dividends, John, and we did mention it a couple of times in the first half about, they were a bit lethargic moving the ball forward, but now they're really going for the juggler. They're running at Anaduff, and they're putting Anaduff under serious pressure.
Martin Feeney again is going to be the man who is going to take the free. Referee had a little bit of a chat there with Michael Clancy as well.
You'd imagine maybe
Michael Clancy, yeah, blood sub, that's exactly it, and you can see the blood there unfortunately coming out of his nose. I don't think it's too much of a serious injury, maybe a little bit of a contact injury, so as a result of that they'll want to try and get him tidied up as quickly as possible on the sideline. And Martin Feeney now can kick in this and look for his 7th point of the semi-final here, and he's duly obliged as he kicks that one in between the posts. 7 points now for Martin Feeney, and what's even more significant is that it now leaves the scoreline 1 goal and 6 to 9 points. The teams are level here. Drogheda have gone up to the full numerical advantage again. I see their number 19 is warming up down under us too, Gary Clinton.
I think that was just for
maybe for the blood sub, yeah. So he's coming back off, and they've got their full complement of players right from the start back on again. So the kick out taken here by Dara Burke, the Anaduff goalkeeper. Lovely fielding again in the centre of the field. That was brilliantly taken on that particular occasion by Kenny Cox. Immediately sets off here, running at the defence. Lovely to see this running game in play. Sean McNabolia has it now. Still McNabolia going through. Oh, the referee says he overcarries the ball, and that's going to be a free out. Well, in fairness to Indeegan, consistency is something we always look for in referees, and he's got it there in abundance all afternoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault any decision he's made so far, John. He's keeping on top of the game, and he's doing a very good job.
Dangerous ball in over the top once more, which Hugh Moynihan has to go back there to try and tidy up for the Anaduff team. They've got the bodies back there to deal with it, and Dermot Reynolds now deep in his own half of the field. His attempted clearance well blocked down. Drogheda really playing with a great commitment and dedication about their game in the second half, and they're certainly looking a team a little bit better when they get running and they get taking on the opposition. Over it comes there on the far side again towards Sean McNavolia. Interesting to note that some of the Anaduff big hitters in the forward line are coming deeper and deeper in search of possession. Ball switched across here now to Shane Morrison this time. Opportunity for him to go forward. They get inside the 45-metre line with Kenny Cox. Has come over to the right. Gets it over to Ray Cox. Here's an opportunity for Ray Cox. Is this to be the dream introduction? It's not. Again, it's tailed out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Wide number 5. And I suppose from a St. Patrick's Drogheda perspective, Cox is having an impact, but not a huge impact.
No, and you know what? Sometimes maybe that Anaduff might be a little bit too dependent on Ray Cox coming in and turning the game for them, and Drogheda have coped quite well since his introduction.
No doubt about it. He was absolutely key when introduced against Drumkieran in the quarterfinals, but as of yet, another North Leitrim team here very much trying to keep him under control. Declan Fowley again bringing the ball forward here. Really could go anyway. Two teams looking for a place in the intermediate final. Trying to keep that one in play was James Clancy. Loses out, just found himself in a difficult position there close to the sideline, and again it's Anaduff who come away with it. Ball played over here towards the direction of Kenny Cox once more. Quick delivery, everything going in towards Ray Cox now at this stage. Goes down low together. Well, it's almost as if the two teams have completely taken each other's tactics from the opening half. Drogheda are running now, and Anaduff are playing the direct ball into Ray Cox every time.
Yeah, and it's not working for Anaduff at the moment. That long ball in, they've got nothing, they've got no return on the last 2 balls that have gone in, so maybe they need to go back to the running game.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how tactics can alter in an encounter like this. In possession once more there. Over on the far side was Shane Fowley again, trying to take the ball in here from a central role. Coming forward is Michael Clancy. Just think there's an awful lot more of a threat about Drogheda with this running game, and Bertie Cunningham now has it. Cunningham, left-footed delivery. In once more here towards Clancy, who's definitely making a difference, having an impact after coming in. Dean Gill getting to know him fairly close and personal on that occasion as well, and it's going to be another free in, and indeed one of the Anaduff players been spoken to there. Not sure, is it going to be Dylan Kane, is it from here?
Looks like Dylan Kane.
Looks like Dylan Kane is Dylan Kane, and the referee is going to show Dylan Kane a yellow card as well. And what's even more significant is that there's a free coming up for a man who has already hit the magnificent 7 in this game. That of course is Martin Feeney, looking to hit point number 8 here, and which would be hugely significant, would edge St. Patrick's Drogheda into the lead. Feeney has hit it wide. He's hit it wide number 7 as well.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for him. But one person I'd like to mention is Aaron Degnan. You know, he went off, and since he's gone off, John, you know, Anaduff don't have the same stronghold like they had around the middle of the field.
No doubt about it. Water break, second water break called here by Indeeg, and it could not be much more tighter. The 1-point lead that Anaduff had enjoyed at the interval has been evaporated here in the third quarter, and the teams are level at 9 points to 1 goal and 6. And really, I suppose it's a game here that is very much up for grabs here. And Anaduff team, of course, beaten in the final last year, won 2 senior football titles in the past as well in 1928 and 2004. And indeed, that victory in 2004, still some survivors there, but it's all about getting back into the senior level for them. Well, Benny, you've been in tight situations in the past. Another change, by the way, there, 13 for 27. I see as a change that is going to be made. Could well be.
Yeah, I think it's Gavin O'Brien is going in, and I think they're going to bring in Alan Dlancy as well. So look, they're really going to throw caution to the wind and go for this game, because it's in the melting pot.
10 for 19, yeah. No change has been made there. So that's what they're bringing in. Alan Clancy, as you're quite rightly identified, coming in, wearing number 19. And the other change that we've talked about there as well was Gavin O'Brien, 27. I think Sean Dignan would be one of the players that's going to be making way number 10.
Yeah, it looks to be that's what the call
and possibly is. Jason Ward. We'll confirm those when the final quarter gets underway. But talk to me, I suppose, mentally and the significance here of Anaduff. They've got Ray Cox now on at this stage, but the 1-point lead is gone, and the 2 balls that has gone into him so far there haven't really stuck. No scores have materialised from them, whereas Drogheda have adopted this more of a running game in the second half now, and that seems to be very advantageous for them.
Yeah, look, at the moment you'd have to say that it's in favour of Drogheda, because in the last 5-6 minutes, you know, they're running at Anaduff, they're putting them under pressure, they've brought it back to a level game, and you know what, maybe maybe in their heads the fact that they won the qualifier game, you know, they might give them that little bit of confidence going into the last 15, but definitely wouldn't write off Anna Duff. There's still one dangerous ball could go into Ray Cox and the game could change again.
It's just one of those forwards, almost a little bit like Ray Kennedy or Kieran Kennedy for Mohill in the past as well. To get teams there when one chance is all they need.
Ronan Kennedy.
Yeah, with just one chance is all they need.
Saved my own skin over in London, you know.
Yeah, remember that game.
And he took the opportunities. So yeah, and that's what you have in Ray Cox. But again, the other side of it, that's what you have in James Clancy as well.
Yeah, well, those changes that we were just noticing there at the water break have come to fruition for Anna Duff. And it really is a game that's on a knife edge, and it could just take one moment of magic from a forward on either side. And let's not forget, James Clancy is in there as well for St. Patrick's Rubber here, and he definitely could be a potential match winner with the likes of Martin Feeney, or could even be an unsung hero that could turn this one around. It's gone in any case down towards Sean McNavolia. Urgency straight away here, and it's come inside here to Kenny Cox. Kenny Cox with a player free outside him. He's played the ball in there towards Clancy. Ball batted down, and Drumahare survive. Well, the changes there that Anna Duff made certainly telling there. Alan Clancy moving in with real intent, and sometimes that can happen right from the throw in. It's so important. There's the run being made, ball squared across here. Clancy just couldn't get on the end of it, and Drumahare survived, Benny.
Yeah, just looking at the replay, I thought Kenny Cox could have given it off to his left, because Ray Cox was just on the edge of the box, and if he had got that ball, there was only one place it was going to go.
Absolutely. Well, it certainly leaves us so nicely in the balance here. A game that could go either way. Ball with Adrian Fowley again bringing it forward. Big, strong, powerful midfielder. Was he tackled late as he was getting that pass away? Deegan seems to think so, and that's going to be a free. And Conor Reynolds has been booked.
Yeah,
he's on a yellow card. Yeah. He's on a yellow.
And look, in fairness to Conor, he's a very passionate footballer, but he needs to be careful for the last 10 or 12 minutes.
On a knife edge. A lot of players maybe on a knife edge out there at the moment. Another free coming in here for St. Patrick's Drumahare. Well, it really is a time for cool heads. Martin Feeney has been a constant turn in the Anna Duff side all throughout the game. 7 points from him from frees, and indeed he's a real live wire when it comes on play as well. Sometimes maybe we overlook, when you've got a prolific free taker like that in the team, that their contribution from open play can be hugely significant as well.
Yeah, well, he's doing both today, John.
Yes, certainly. Here he comes. Referee not happy maybe where he kicked that one from. I think that could be the... Was that the problem?
Yeah, it looks to be. So it's going to be a hot ball from Endegan, and again, we've complimented him on his technical fouls, and again, a good call.
Yeah, he certainly spotted the infringement and throws in the ball there, so you can expect a right ruck, and it's going to be a free out for Anna Duff. Well, that's a significant one for them. That's a big advantage for them there as well. Just interesting to note there, Liam Taylor just having a little bit of contact with one of the St. Patrick's Drumahare players. Shane Fowley has gone injured. Now I wonder, what did the linesman spot there?
I think Seamus Mulhern has mentioned something to Endegan, but he's not going to act.
Nothing significant in it. Nothing significant in it. In fairness to Liam Taylor, I just think it was maybe a little bit of a nudge that you give when somebody misses a free, just to let them know that, well, perhaps the Benjamin is swinging back in our favour again. Referee has got the notebook out since, I suppose, the second water break, Benny. It's all been stop-start. It's fouling a lot. The game really is struggling to breathe at this stage.
Yeah, well, there's so much at stake, John, and they're so evenly matched. And you know,
yellow for Bertie
we're looking at Endegan in the camera shot. He's going to have a big 10 or 12 minutes now, because you know there's going to be a lot of fouling, and both teams really going to go at it for the last 10 minutes.
There's no place for the faint-hearted. Hang on to your seats at home as well. Buckle in. This could certainly be one of those games which could have a grandstand finish here on a Saturday afternoon at the Leitrim GAA platform. A place of the intermediate final up for grabs for 2021, and at the moment very little, nothing really to separate Anna Duff and Drumahare. But here come Drumahare, and Killian McLaughlin again bringing the ball forward here for them. Gets it back outside him towards the direction of James Clancy. Clancy again trying to take on the cover, making significant headway on the far side of the field. Looks to cut in field, still Clancy. Whistle had sounded to get him, the referee signalling a high tackle, and that's going to be a free in. Well, it's stating the obvious, but discipline for Anna Duff here is going to be absolutely key and absolutely crucial. They're questioning a few decisions there now at this particular moment in time, and it's vital that they keep their composure.
Yeah, and that was, you know, the referee rightly brought it in again, and once the referee makes a decision, you shouldn't question it, because, you know, that's that's going to be a really kickable free now for Martin Feeney.
Martin Feeney with a gilt-edge opportunity to at last send St. Patrick's Drogheda into the lead in the intermediate semi-final, and he's nailed this one in and over the bar. 8 points for Martin Feeney, and it's St. Patrick's Drogheda who lead by 1, 10 points to a goal at 6 now, and the chips very much down. Maybe Anaduff haven't had the impact that they would have liked to have had with the subs that they've brought into the game. If anything, perhaps the introduction of James Clancy has been the standout move from the sideline so far.
Yeah, definitely would agree with you there, John. And Anaduff really need to get a grip around the middle of the field. They need to get Liam Taylor on the ball. They need to get Kenny Cox a little bit more on the ball. And this man again, Ray Cox.
And again, it's the quality of the ball going in there. Maybe not ideal for a full forward. And once more, Leon Hart is there to tidy up proceedings here for the St. Patrick's Drogheda team. Rory Kelly. Out it comes now to Jamie Conlon. Conlon bringing it forward. Right footed delivery again over towards that far side of the field as Anaduff begin now to flood players back with Drogheda coming on the attack. Bertie Cunningham, who picked up a yellow card a few moments ago. Ball played in again here towards Clancy. He's got possession. He's really been a huge supporting player for the likes of Feeney inside here. In again it goes there towards Gary Fowley. Scored early on in the game, had an opportunity of a goal as well, but he's got the pass off there. Now the shot is struck in, and it's just a 2-point lead for Drogheda. It certainly is. It's a 2-point lead for St. Patrick's Drogheda as they work the ball in again to the forward line, and there was number 17, Declan Fowley, to tap it in and over the bar. Wonderful score from Declan Fowley, and it's St. Patrick's Drogheda who lead by 2.
Yeah, and deservedly so, John. And you know, only about 9 minutes to go. You know, Anaduff really need to get a hold of the ball.
1 goal and 6 now to 11 points, 2 between them, and Anaduff find themselves in a somewhat unusual position here. It's beginning to swing the way of Drogheda now at this stage, you feel. Another free coming in here for them. Again, there's going to be some treatment needed, and really, I suppose it's an opportunity again as Michael Clancy, the team skipper, is the man who has gone down injured there on that particular occasion, wearing number 12 for them. Clancy, who is 26 years of age, the skipper of the team, real driving force with a direct ball in there, and somebody who's equally as effective as a wing back or indeed in the forward line. Another change been made here by Anaduff as well, as you can see. Number 20 about to be introduced to them, Adam O'Hagan coming in.
Yeah, as I say, only about 8 minutes to go, John. You would imagine that it's Droghera's to lose at this stage. The fact that they're 2 points, they came from behind and they're completely in the driving seat at the moment.
Stephen Murray is coming off for Anaduff. Well, he's on a yellow card as well, so that could have been a movement maybe there, or a significant choice for Anaduff to bring him off at this stage. But they've made a number of switches here. Joe Cox's team been involved in the business end of the competition over the last number of years. They lost that final to Fina, lost again last year to Gortletra in the decider, beaten in a semi-final recently as well by Leitrim Gaels on the year that they won it. So they've been knocking on the door for so many years, but they find themselves now in a dangerous position here at this stage. 1 goal and 6, a total of 9 against 11, 2 between the teams. Anaduff, you feel, maybe need the next score at this stage.
Yeah, they need the likes of Dylan Kane to run at them like he did in the first half, and that's exactly what he's doing.
And he's away now on his bike, plays the ball inside him there once more, got it in there towards Gavin O'Brien on this occasion, back to Dylan Kane again, to O'Brien again, squares it in through the middle, opportunities for Clancy, right up at the attack, runs into a wall of cover from Drogheda, and they managed to come away with the ball. And at the end of all of that, it was Martin Clancy who emerged in possession. That's morale lifting for St. Patrick's Drogheda. Their manager urges them on from the sideline, wants them to get forward. Ball in possession now, or the player in possession is Rory Kelly, over towards this near side, and Martin Clancy. Drogheda playing the ball around with real confidence now. Declan Fowley, a point from him just a couple of moments ago, coming forward now along this near side. Kyle Hart is the player who is making the overlapping run. Hart with the quick delivery. Down again there it goes towards the corner forward who's come across this side. Gary Fowley in possession. Alternating between right and left. Plays it in there to James Clancy once more. There's a much better balanced look in the forward line since James Clancy has been introduced, Benny, and they've got another free in.
Yeah, but credit to Drogheda. They're defending back there to overturn the ball. They're showing a real passion and a real hunger to finish out this game.
Oh, it's certainly a wonderful performance from them, but really still up for grabs, still not sure of a place in the final by any means, but they have an opportunity coming up here from Martin Feeney, who's been the scorer-in-chief for them right throughout the championship campaign. 8 points today, making sure that he continues on with that wonderful scoring streak that he's on. Onto the right boot it goes to Martin Feeney, and he's nailed another one. It's 9 points now from the number 14, and that now leaves the scoreline 12 points to 1 goal and 6. 3 between the teams now at this stage, and Anaduff really do need to get the next score, Benny.
Yeah, and that man in the picture, you know, we don't give free takers enough credit, John. You know, that wasn't an easy free, but he struck it very well, and a very, very good score. So great to have a free taker of his calibre on the pitch.
No doubt about it, and you can really see now at this stage it's going to be a massive challenge here now for Anaduff if they can pull themselves back into contention here in this particular encounter. Liam Taylor making that catch in the middle of the field enables them the chance here now to get forward. Hugh Moynihan in possession, immediately fouled. Drummahare's players tackling ferociously in there now at this stage. Free about to be kicked in here from Anaduff, but it's a time for cool heads. It's 45 metres out from goal, just wondering maybe will they bring the goalkeeper out to take it. No, it's going to be Sean McNabolia instead is the man who is going to drop this one in.
Yeah, and maybe, do you know what, tactical fouling, if there's such a thing. There were two good tackles or fouls from Drumahare to slow down Anaduff's attack.
This is going to drop short. It might still trouble the Drumahare defence, but they've come away with it again. Good play inside from Rory Kelly. There's a lot of leaders, as Benny just mentioned, in that Drumahare defence that are really standing up and being counted now. Are they on the way to the intermediate final? Still perhaps too early to say. Rory Kelly down again towards Gary Fowley has been majestic. Lovely ball inside again, and Feeney has it once more, turns and shoots. Oh, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 10th point of the game from him, and if ever you're looking for the perfect 10, well, that's as good a score as you'll see in any semi-final. The ball in was of excellent quality. He got out ahead of his marker. There's the finish on the right boot. That is a guy that is simply bang on form at the moment.
Yeah, you mentioned his general play earlier on, John, and again, that's an exceptional score. Turned and banged straight over the bar. Great score from Martin Feeney.
Oh, 10 points from him in the game now so far, so it's 13 points to a goal in 6. Could Anaduff, the team who were beaten in the final last year, be about to crash out again at the business end of the championship, this time in the semi-finals? Or is there some of that legendary spirit from Anaduff still there with them? Can they yet come forward? They're on the attack here now with Kenny Cox, immediately looking for a response. They need a score from somewhere. Kenny Cox onto the 21-metre line, fouled on his way through, says the referee, and that's going to be a free in. They're on life support at the minute. They needed a free in. They need to tap this one over the bar and see what they can do after this, Benny.
Yeah, and I suppose if Drumahare can stop them conceding a goal, you know that it's going to be very difficult in only 3 minutes of general play, you know, to make up the scores. So
Sean McNabolia taps it over. 5 points from him in the game so far. He's reduced the deficit a little bit. 1 goal and 7 now to 13 points. 3 between them. It's still only a kick of the ball.
Still only a kick of the ball, but I again would compliment Drumahare's defence. They're doing very well. They're tackling extremely hard and they're making it very difficult on Anaduff to get in around the goal mouth.
The intermediate final taking place in 2 weeks' time. We'll confirm later if it's going to be the Saturday or the Sunday when that game is going to be played. But the winners will take on either Kiltubbert or Balnaglera. Will it be Drumahare who will be going forward to it? Brilliant catch again from Adrian Fowley in the middle of the field. Martin Clancy now on the attack. Plays it outside up here to James Clancy. He's been a potential match winner. Great to see him on the field from a Drumahare perspective. Just runs out of motorway down there. Again, the ball cleared up here by the goalkeeper Dara Burke, and it's Dara Burke who tries to scramble that one clear. Umpire signals that it's gone wide. I make it about 8 wide, so St. Patrick's Drumahare in the game so far, but the sun really a factor now at this particular stage as well here in the Smiths Monumental Intermediate Football Final. Tomorrow fortnight we believe the intermediate final will be taking place, so there'll be 2 weeks in a day for one of these teams to prepare. Now what's going to happen here?
Hot ball, I would imagine, John, because players weren't outside the 14, so again good call by Andy Egan.
Consistency.
He's on top of it.
Yeah, the consistency that were so many times referees have been criticised from in the past. Very much there at Indeegan today, carrying on that wonderful family tradition as well of refereeing. And of course we could all remember his dad Pat refereeing many famous games in the past as well, not alone here in Leitrim but further afield at a national and provincial level. Dylan Kane fouled on the way out there. Just look at the run the goalkeeper is making there. Dara Burke. There's still 1 minute and 10 seconds of normal time. There'll be some injury time to be added on as well. Anaduff may yet have time. Gavin O'Brien bringing the ball forward here now, looking to try and carve out some opening for them. Ray Cox involved in the move. Over to the far side of the field it goes. Switched in field here to Sean Dagden once more. They've got to try and just get someone on the end of the move that can have a shot at goal here. Eventually the ball has been kicked in. I think it's Hugh Moynihan again who has it, and he sends one in and between the posts. Well, it's a 3rd point of the game from him. He's really come in there time and time again, almost ghosted into a scoreable position, and he scored 3 points to cap off a very impressive personal performance, Benny.
Yeah, that's great leadership from Hugh Moylan. You know, Anaduff badly needed a score. He took on responsibility and is after putting up a good score.
3 minutes of additional time to be added on. Is there yet time now for Anaduff? 3 minutes to be added on here at the end of the second half. It's 13 13 points to 1-8, which is 11. 2 between them. Anna Duffer never dead and buried. They've won another free for themselves there again. Dean Gill, they'll believe that they can get themselves out of this particular position. Another free there being awarded to them. Gavin O'Brien again was the man who was fouled, and Sean McNabolia is going to kick this sort of outside the 45-metre line. Now, what does he do here? Left-footed in from Sean McNabolia. It's tailing out. Ray Cox trying to keep it in play, but has gone wide. Would have been better maybe try and drop that one in round the house and hope for a break.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, John. You know, maybe take a 1-2 and get into a more scoreable position, because that was a very, very difficult free for Sean McNabola.
Hugely difficult one for him to try and contend with there. Still, there's time, you feel, for them. We're into injury time. 3 minutes of additional time to be added on, as we've told you, and we're into time added on now at this stage. It's going to be an intriguing finish. Again, a Strubba here now who'll have to hold on to possession. Won't be throwing caution to the wind, but the best form of defence could be attacked. James Clancy. And again, it goes there towards Gary Fowley. Fouled on the far side. Some wonderful movement by the Drubba here forward line, and I know I keep going back to it. With James Clancy introduced, there just seems to be such a better balance in the team all round, especially in attack.
Yeah, and their off-the-ball movement, John, is excellent, and you know what? That makes it a lot easier for the guys out the field. If you have a forward constantly moving inside, the chances are that you're going to get the ball into him.
Martin Feedy has taken the free quickly, and it goes again here towards Gary Fowley, taking the on again, acute angle, dropping this one in there dangerously. Whistle sounds from the referee, an infringement. I presume a square, maybe infringement spotted there, but in any case it's going to be a free out. Well, I presume it was not sure if it could have been a square infringement, but the referee spotted something there in any case. Here we go now. Once more the ball coming forward here. Gavin O'Brien in possession here is the number 20, Adam O'Hagan. Another one of the subs on the field here now for Anaduff. Adam O'Hagan running through, again runs into cover. Drubba here having players back. In there again with Sean McNabolia. Whistle sounds from the referee, and it's going to be a free out. And you just wonder now, is it all beginning to fall into place here for Drubba here, Benny, late on?
Yeah, the clock is ticking down, and you would imagine it's theirs to lose at this stage, John. You know, and in the last 10-15 minutes they have been the better side, and you would imagine they're going to see it out.
St. Patrick's Drubba here making another change as well. Gary Clinton wearing number 19 was in a little bit earlier on as a blood sub for a minute or two, maybe even not even that long, but he's warming up again and could be introduced shortly. Here is their manager from Ballatoher, Rory Clancy, looks on. The man of course involved heavily with Sligo GA as well. Could he be masterminding his team through here to an appearance in the Smith Monumentals Leitrim Intermediate Football Final for 2021? Here they come again on the attack. Ball again played over there towards that far side. Declan Fowley carrying it from deep. Wonderful pace. Huge energy levels at this late stage of the game as Drubba here, St. Patrick's Drubba here, look to ensure victory here. That diagonal ball played in again there towards the forward line. Whistle sounds again from the referee, and it's going to be a free out here for Anaduff, and they really need to get forward now. Dylan Kane, can we apologise maybe if one or two choice words are getting through here on the commentary stream?
Yeah, I think supporters are getting caught up in the excitement.
A little bit hot under the collar, yeah, no doubt about it, and I suppose it shows the whole nature and passion here that's ebbing and flowing out of Advant Money Park, Sean McGilberta. Change taking place there for Drubba here. Number 9, Shane Fowley is coming off, and number 19, as we mentioned a little bit earlier on, Gary Clinton, the man who is coming in here now for the closing stages. Fowley limping off a little bit, but I'm sure if he gets some treatment there, it could be cramp as well. He's immediately gone down to the ground and trying to free out that leg that is giving him a little bit of trouble. They'll be hoping, of course, that he'll be okay for tomorrow week. It'll be a red letter day for the team in white and red, but Anaduff mightn't be finished yet. Here comes Hugh Moynihan again leading the forward charge, and he kicks this one in, but he has kicked it wide. An opportunity for Hugh Moynihan. He did score 3 points. He was on the run and at an angle this time, and another opportunity gone back in there for Anaduff, Benny.
Yeah, and that kick off the side of the boot, John,
difficult to execute.
It looks spectacular when it comes off, but you know what? 9 out of 10 times it doesn't come off.
Absolutely, that could be the danger of it. Kick out again will come here from John McGoldrick, hugely experienced goalkeeper, great servant of the team, and it's all over. And it's St. Patrick's Drubba here who march on and will contest the Smith Monumentals Leitrim Intermediate Football Final. A wonderful performance from them here today. 1 goal and 8 to 13 points, the full-time scoreline. So a wonderful victory indeed for them, and you can see Joe Cox there, the manager from Anaduff. Of course, the player got injured himself in a game on there on the sideline, congratulating the Drubba here players. Well, Benny, give me your thoughts on that, on the balance of play, perhaps in the second half. Maybe St. Patrick's Drubba here deserving winners?
Yeah, I would agree with you there, John. John. I think they definitely were the better team in the second half. And you know what I loved about them? Their passion, you know, the way they battled for every ball. We mentioned Martin Feeney several times about his scoring ability, but in the last 5 minutes he was back in his defence, helping out his defence. So it was very, very much a team effort by Dromahare.
One thing that we mentioned about this game was going to be the introduction of substitutes. Now, I know Ray Cox was introduced, a number of other subs came in there as well, for the likes of Gavin O'Brien, for Anna Duff, and they really did throw a lot of them in there, including Alan Glancy. But the standout sub for me was James Glancy for St. Patrick's Dromahare. He came on, he changed the whole dynamic of the forward line, he gave it an awful lot better balance, and Dromahare, coupled with that introduction and their more direct running in the second half, that to me seemed to be a crucial moment and a turning point in the game.
Yeah, and you know what, he brought that little bit of energy, and he's just, again, we mentioned that natural talent. He's a very naturally talented forward, and he used his experience and he ran at Anna Duff, put them on the back foot. So I would agree, John, his introduction had a massive bearing on the game.
If you're looking, Benny, or at a potential man of the match from that game, who would you go for?
Look, there's only one man.
Would he be wearing number 14 by any chance?
Absolutely, all day long. And do you know what? Great to be able to watch a player of his calibre, you know, that can kick frees, but you mentioned it a few times, John, about his general play, like, you know, what he contributes to a game. It's great to watch.
Okay, quick word from you on the second of the semi-finals tomorrow. How do you see that one going?
Look, no more than
toss
today,
a coin.
I would imagine so. Do you know, it's going to be a really, really good game between two very proud clubs, you know, Ballinadare and Kiltubbert. So, again, I wouldn't call it, John.
Well, that's one you can watch with us here tomorrow on the Leitrim Gaa streaming platform. But for today, it's a day that very much belongs to St. Patrick's of Dromahare. They are through to the intermediate final. A victory for them on a full-time scoreline of 13 points to a goal and 8 against Annaduff, the beaten finalists sub last year. Our team here in Carrick and Shannon this afternoon. Great to work as always with Benny Guckin on co-commentary. Martin Costello looked after everything from a streaming perspective. Brian Blake was on camera work. From myself, John Lynch, until tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 at the meeting of Ballinadare and Kiltubbert. Thanks for watching. Don't forget the final takes place in 2 weeks from tomorrow, the intermediate final. That's another game you'll be able to watch live with us here on the Leitrim Gaa platform. We know that Dromahare, St. Patrick's Dromahare are there. Who'll join them? Well, we'll find out tomorrow when Ballinadare and Kiltubbert go head to head. Set that reminder. Our coverage will start tomorrow at 2:25. Until then, a very good evening.